Now we're going to look at a method called double number lines. And this is a really useful method in maths for lots of different topics, especially in percentages, but in different areas like ratios and rates and other things like that. Percentages, which we'll be using it for now, rates and ratios, which we'll come across later in maths as well. But this is a really useful method because it can work out lots of different types of questions. So once you learn how to do double number lines, a lot of the skills from earlier in this chapter you can solve just using double number lines. So let's work through an example to see how it works. If we have 8% of some money, so 8% of an amount of money is $48, then what's the full amount of money? The full amount. So double number lines can help us with these situations where we know a little bit of information, but we want to know all the information. So here's what a double number line looks like. And it's a number line, well, it's two number lines, as it says in the name, but it's a vertical number line. So we work up and down with 0 at the bottom, and it can go up as high as we need it to. And we use a line in the middle, and it can move up and down as well, depending on the question. But we're working in two parallel situations at the same time. Because with percentages, if the percentage goes up, then the amount of money will go up, or the value that it's worth will go up. So on one side of the number line, we work as a percent, and on the other side, we'll work in the money number line. So we have two number lines working together. And the first thing we do is put in the information that we know. So we know that 8%, and we'll write that down here. So on the percentage side, we have 8%. That's equal to $48. So 48 goes on the money side. But we want to know what's the full amount of money. So the full amount of anything is 100%. So that's going to be right up here. And we want to know how much money is 100% in this case. And the way the double number line works is we always want to get to finding 1% of something. Because once we can find 1%, we can multiply by 100 to get up to 100%. So in our situation, we need to think, how did we get, or how do we go from 8% down to 1%? Well, we've divided by 8. We're always thinking multiplying or dividing with a double number line. And what we did to one side, just like on a fraction, we do to the other. So what's 48 divided by 8? And using our times tables, that's 6. So 1% of the total is $6. And now that we know the 1%, we can easily multiply by 100 to go from 1 to 100%. And what we did on one side, we do to the other. $6 times 100 gives us $600. So the full amount of money that we started with is $600. Let's go over that method just so we can remember the steps. So you write the double number line. And you have the percentage on one side and the money on the other side. The second thing was find 1%. And then once we know 1%, we can find the total by multiplying by 100. Find the total or the unknown, because sometimes we'll know the total but we want to know something else. So find the missing number, basically. Okay, let's do a couple more examples. So if you go out and get some burgers, and it's with a group of friends, and the food bill for the burgers we're not sure about. But you do know, for some reason, that 11% of the bill is $77. And we want to know how much of that bill, of the total, is 25% worth. So there's a lot of information here, but the double number line can help us to sort through all that information. So we're going to use percent and money once again. And we start with what we know. So 11% on the percentage side is the same worth as $77 on the money side. And we want to know how much is 25%. So that's above 11%. And we're not sure about that, so we'll put a box. And just like before, we're going to find what's 1%, because that will let us multiply 1 up to get to 25. So how can we go from 11 to 1? We can divide by 11. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. 77 divided by 11, that's 7. So 1% is worth $7. 1% is the same as $7. So then we can go from 1 up to 25. And the way you go from 1 to 25 is you multiply by 25. And what we did to one side, we're going to do on the other. 7 times 25, that's $175. So what we just found was, of our total food bill, which we didn't actually find, 25% of that food bill is $175. And actually, let's find the total food bill too. What's 100%? Well, we already know that 1% is $7. So let's go from 1% up to 100 by multiplying by 100. 7 times 100, that's easy, that's 700. So the whole bill is $700. So the double number line, once you've found that 1%, you can easily find any other percent. And this is called the unitary method. Unit just meaning 1, like the unit's place value. So you find the 1% and then you work out the unknown from there.